parsnips. Quite an important crop for me, and I don't have a lot of room to grow them. The mole has been in here and created havoc. I've seemed to have lost one in that corner. Certainly lost that one. This one looks as though it's been dislodged or done something with it because the leaves have died off. Same happened here, that got chewed. That might have been a slug actually, and this one's definitely gone as well. So I've got a few stations that I can refill if I can get some going. So I've got a backup solution which I'm hoping will work. I know it's going to be late, but they will catch up. And I'm going to do it in here, the veg plot man's method, by putting seeds on the top. I'm going to use the pan lid that I've got as a humidity dome. I'm going to try and get some going on here, and as soon as they start to shoot, I'm going to get a spoon underneath them and lift the spoonful out and put them in those stations. But I've got a twist to that. I've pre-chitted the seeds and they're in here. I can't do it one-handed, so I'm going to have to stop it for now. So let me look at these pre-chitted seeds. I say pre-chitted, they've been just in damp paper in the house. They haven't sprouted yet, but I think it's given, I don't know, maybe a day or two. There's far too many here, but that's irrelevant. Hope you can see all those. So all I'm going to do is use this. I'm trying to look to see if there's any shoots, but there isn't yet. So I'll just put them in one by one. About an inch apart at the moment. I'll pause it there and come back to you when that's done. So I've made this selection here. I'm just going to make sure they're in good contact with the soil by just very lightly depressing them down. Oops, that came away in my fingers. So that's it. How many have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's about a dozen there, so, and I'll just junk these, of course, into the compost. And now put the humidity dome on top. Put it with other stuff out of the way. Let's put it here. The lid doesn't fit perfectly, but I'm sure it'll do the job. So that's easy to check on daily, and then when I think I've got something going, I can progress to the next stage. Quick look in here. These are the lettuces I did. I pricked out the other day from this batch here. Red vein sorrel's doing okay now. I've got another chard to go in when the next bucket of potatoes is used. I had this covered up. The first, I see it now, the very first swede, these are my swedes, very first swede has come up, so fingers crossed on this one. So I bought the new chains for these hanging baskets that I picked up on the Etsy shelf. So, but I didn't have anything to put in it. But somebody's just very kindly donated a Sungold cherry tomato, which I'm going to put in it. So, never grown Sungold before either. Here they're quite nice. So let's get going with this. I'll come back in a bit. Okay, that's filled up. Just take these lower leaves, actually the seed leads, off this. So I think I'll plant this right up to the, because it's got little roots coming out here, I'm going to plant it up to that, just above there. Roots coming out the bottom. I'm not sure whether to top it yet or not. Oh, it's got a truss on already. I'll decide on that later. So I'll just firm this down, and then I think I'll add a bit more compost. Should I leave it at that? No, I'll add a bit more compost because it will settle over time. This compost is the Erin compost that we buy locally, and it seems to have changed consistency. It looks a different colour, looks much darker than my previous lot, and it seems a lot woodier, more fibrous. So we'll see how it goes anyway. Stones in it. It's the second one I've just pulled, and I've only just started the bag. So I don't know who's making Erin. I think it's Irish actually. I would have thought it'd been all the peat they have in Ireland. Right. Gonna make sure I leave that in there. Just to get these roots settled in. Yeah. Looks a nice healthy plant, so thank you to whoever left it. To be fair, I leave hundreds and hundreds of plants on the Swapsy shelf. I left lots of tomato plants, but I haven't grown Sungold before, so I'm going to give it a go. And this was the ideal thing to do it on. So, yeah, now I'll go and hang it. Go, he says. Yeah, I'm really disappointed with my garlic this year. I'm definitely going to do the method that Duncan over there in Anglesey uses by utilising those crates for next year. So I'm just going to get these up and get them quickly drying in the polytunnel. I'll come back after. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised. I was expecting the worst when all the other YouTubers have been, not all of them, but quite a few of them have been saying that they've got white rot and allium leaf miner and, you know, it's a poor year, etc. And apart from a bit of rust, there's no sign of the leaf miner and no sign of white rot. And although there's a few tiddlers in there, some of them are not a bad size. Now, I didn't plant many this year. I usually do at least double this. But I've still got a string of garlic hanging in the garage from last year, so the wife said don't grow so many this year, so I only did a small bed. So I'm just going to put these on this drying rack here and for a couple of days, and then they'll go in my garage, and I'll have to make room for them because that's where the elephant garlic are. Okay, let me have a look. I pick the optimum time for getting these out, because most of them, the necks have gone floppy now. Don't ask me what variety these are, because I've been using my home side for a long time. They store pretty well. Just do this initial drying phase in my polytunnel, and then I can shake off most of that dried soil before they go home. Just been looking to see how many of those crates that Duncan uses for next year. I think it's a brilliant idea. We got a really good crop out of his this year, and especially for me, who's low on growing space, it means I could start them in the crates and then move this size of this thing, and then move them out perhaps when it's safe to do so. Not that they're not hardy, but so I'm really pleased with that. Okay, so let's have a look at the rest of the alliums here, onions. They seem to have picked up a lot in the last, since we've had the rain, but I did top dress them all with sulphate of potash beginning of June, and that'll have all washed in now. So just hoping that at the end here I did space them. If you notice there's a difference in spacing. I spaced, these are all exhibition onions, the big ones, and I don't want huge onions, so I space them really closely. So I'm hoping that they come out to be like a medium to large. And then I got down here and I'm into Bedfordshire Champions, and those at that end look a bit small, but these are doing great. And I think I've got some Red Barons down at the bottom here. I might have a bit of mine in here, I'm not sure I've got. We'll see. Anyway, if the onions do as well as the garlic, I'll be well pleased. I did a video recently about side shooting and stringing these tomatoes, and I said don't do the top part because you can easily snap off the growing tip, and that's exactly what I did yesterday, I think, or day before. I'm lucky in a way because I think I've got a side shoot there just beyond the truss that I'm going to take as the next leader, and that'll just continue up. So watch your own videos, Norman.